My stepdaughter wants her real dad to give her away? Fine, let your real dad pay for it. My stepdaughter will be getting married on August 3rd. The wedding planning has consumed most of her and her mother's life for the past 6 months. Her mother and I have been together for over 10 years, but we're not officially married. My stepdaughter graduated last December from university. I paid for her to go to college, though it was a state school, it still cost $40,000. She does not have a job and has been living with us for the duration of her college career and since her graduation. I also bought her a car to get back and forth from school when she finished high school. From time to time, her deadbeat father would pop into her life, and she would fawn all over him. Although he has not contributed a cent to her education or paid any child support, though that is my girlfriend's fault, as child support was not part of the settlement, she still loves him and wants him in her life. He stays long enough to break her heart by skipping town and breaking some promise that he made to her. The wedding venue holds a maximum of 250 people. I provided them with a list of 20 people that I wanted invited, since I was paying for everything. They assured me that it was no problem and that they'd take care of it. So, I informed these people that they'd be receiving an invite and should save the date. On Saturday, I saw one of my friends on this list at the golf course and asked if he was coming. He told me that he wasn't invited. According to him, he received an announcement but not an invitation. He had it in his back seat and showed it to me. Sure enough, it was just an announcement, and my name was nowhere on it. It only had her dad's name and her mom's name, not mine. This led to a pretty big fight with my girlfriend, as I found out that none of the people on my list of 20 made the cut for the final guest list, because apparently 250 people is very tight and they didn't have space for anyone else. I was upset, but there wasn't much I could do since the important people in my life had already been offended. My girlfriend said, if some people didn't RSVP, I might be able to get a couple of people in. But that is the ultimate slap in the face, in my opinion. So, I was boiling on Saturday. Yesterday, we had a Sunday dinner with the future in-law's family, us, and a surprise guest, the real dad. During this little dinner, my stepdaughter announced that her real dad was going to be able to make it to her wedding and that now he'd be able to give her away. This was greeted with a lot of applause from everyone. I don't think I have ever felt so angry and disrespected. I was shaking. I took a few seconds to gather my composure because I honestly wasn't sure if I would cry or start throwing punches or both. Once I was sure I'd be able to speak, I got up from my chair and said I'd like to make a toast. I can't remember exactly what I said, but the gist of it was this. I'd like to make a toast. The sound of spoons against glasses rings in my ears. It has been my great pleasure to be a part of this family for the past 10 years. Aw, how sweet. At this point in my life, I feel I owe a debt of gratitude to the bride and groom because they have opened my eyes to something very important. Confident smiles are exchanged. They have shown me that my position in this family is not what I once thought it was. Now a glimmer of confusion and shock begins to spread on the faces in the room. Though I once thought of myself as the patriarch or godfather of the family, commanding great respect and sought out for help in times of need, it seems instead that I hold the position of an ATM, good for a stream of money, but not much else. As I have been replaced as host, both on the invitations and in the ceremony, I am resigning my financial duties as host to my successor, the real dad. So cheers to the happy couple and the path they have chosen. I finished my drink. You all can let yourselves out. Is this selfish? Am I supposed to shell out 40 to 50 grand for a wedding that I can't invite anyone to? That I am not a part of? I'm so done with this crap. I'm done with my stepdaughter, I'm done with my girlfriend. I transferred the money out of our joint account last night. She has not had a job since she moved in with me. This morning, I called all the vendors I had written checks to for deposits to refund my money. At present, it looks like I'll lose around $1,500 for the venue, but the other vendors have been great about refunding. Update 1. The immediate aftermath was a tantrum, with people sitting there mumbling, not actually saying anything to me but to each other. After much yelling with the girlfriend about me being selfish, I spent the night in my home office, and no one knocked on my door, not once. Today's aftermath is kind of depressing for me. The girlfriend brought me the bride's wedding planner to show me how much work I was ruining. I thumbed through it and found a page in the music section for father and daughter dances. All of the songs were catered to the real dad's taste. So, I thought they were just being disrespectful, but now I'm feeling like they never really gave a crap at all, especially since the menu included 2 ingredients I'm allergic to. That actually made me laugh. Either way, I'm glad to be done. I returned the planner and asked her when she and the bride could move out. Also, I never promised to pay for the wedding. I offered them the use of my home when they were sure it was going to be small. But other than that, all I've heard is how it's the bride's family that should pay. So, let it be the bride's family then, aka, not me. Update 2. Girlfriend and bride have now moved out. They are moving in with the groom. It was very hard not to be petty with some of the belongings they took with them, but it's done, and I switched out the locks. Now it's time for a brew. I can't believe how popular this story got, but I feel good to be given support by so many. If I find out what happens with the wedding, I will let you know, but I can't guarantee that I will put in the effort to find out. From what I've heard, they are trying to scale things back and get his parents to help out. Girlfriend burned bridges when I found out she tried to write herself a check on our joint account the day after the unpleasantness. By then, I had already moved money, so I guess I'm a bigger ass than her, but I could feel it coming. That's all. Thanks.